And what you say, Pachanga? Uh, you said, I would like to know what your point of view on the Dame situation is, how the media and music industry tearing him down. Also, 50 and Cam working on them paid in full Harlem series without him. That's understandably foul. Understandably because Dame reputably is not a pleasant person to work with. Um, Dame apparently is not well suited for the politics of life. The politics of life and life itself is politics. The politics of life is that you have to be willing to give in order to get, right? The give and take. And Dame, reputably, I've never done business with Dame. I've done business with uh, Def Jam, and by way of doing business with Def Jam, um, done business, with Rockefeller, like, promoted their projects and stuff like that, whatever, right? And but I've been around Dame at different times and places. I used to go, they offer some time, and me, him, and Biggs and Jay and whoever else. This is, back when everybody was in the building, back when everybody was in the Universal building, Def Jam, Murder Inc., uh, good, Rockefeller, who else was in? Everybody, that y'all could think of. And I used to be all up and down and through there on a regular basis because that's how I got my money. You know what I mean? Like I did a lot of business with Def Jam. I told y'all that's Kevin Lau. Shout out to Kevin Lau. He gave me my first check. So I got a lot of time, a lot of opportunity to observe Jay. Of course, we know a lot of the same people. I mean, Dame. And Dame is reputably a very difficult person to deal with. There are a couple of instances in which, I had to like give him the you better relax yourself. You know what I mean? Like don't make me embarrass you, my nigga, because I'm the farthest thing in the world from the industry, nigga. I will beat your ass and strip you butt ass motherfucking naked in this building or wherever the fuck we at. I will really destroy you out this motherfucker. Don't play with me. And I really, really like, you could literally still smell the crack and dope in my clothes. Not a rap lyric. You understand? So, like, I knew nothing about this, and this is the first I'm hearing about this. Cam and 50 working together. Cam and 50 working together is pretty extraordinary because they have a history. Um, and them working together on the paid in full Harlem series, that I would love to see that. And I'm glad that Cam is involved because 50 doesn't have, any connection to Harlem, right? Especially that era. He has no connection to Harlem. So for him to do that would be no different than somebody else who is not specific to our time and place, um, being a vulture of Harlem 80s culture that they weren't a part of. Just because 50 is a young black male from the inner city doesn't mean that it's okay for him to just chomp up everybody's, content. Oh, let me do a Harlem story. Let me do a Brooklyn story. Let me do this, because I'm young and black. I can't be a culture vulture. If anybody other than him had been doing the things he's been doing with these shows, adapting and assimilating different, imagery and characters and so forth, to incorporate into his series, then they would have been looked at as a culture vulture. And because he's a black male, it's not as though he's beyond, being considered a culture vulture when he's encroaching on other people's, cultures, cultures within the culture. Harlem itself is its own culture, period. And he ain't from Harlem. So for him to do that and not do it with somebody who's from Harlem wouldn't be cool, in my opinion. It would not be cool. But him and Cam working together to do it, I think that would be a very good thing. I think it'll come out really entertaining, and be a lot of fun for people.